I got involved in the NYMT when I was 14 and I left when I was 19 when I was at drama school. Being involved in the NYMT when I was learning about what I wanted to do in this industry was probably the most important foundation that I could have received as a young actor.
I think it's a wonderful and pretty much unique organisation. Doing something like this affects individuals in ways that they don't understand at the time.
I expected to come to NYMT and develop as an actor and as a performer, but what I didn't necessarily expect to happen was for me to develop just as a person. Something more about you grows when you're here, and you can come out of your shell.
It's just made me so much more confident.
Basically, my drama teacher told me that this would be a really good thing to do, and then I enrolled myself online. First round of auditions were held at a local theatre called the Mac. It was singing and acting and sort of icebreakers. It was more of a workshop-y audition, so it wasn't intimidating at all.
I couldn't make the initial audition because of another rehearsal that I had to go to, so NYMT emailed back being like, it's fine, just send through a video of you singing and a video of you acting, and I got into the recall, so I was very happy.
I will always say that I trained at ArtsEd and NYMT because 90% of what I know about what I do is from NYMT without even realising that I was learning on the way, because to me I was just having fun with my friends. Yeah, they provide these incredible creatives in this like beautiful setting in such a professional way, but without the pressure of it being like a professional job. So you're still taken care of, you still have space for learning while being provided with all the opportunities that you would on a real job.
I haven't worked with them any differently than I'd work with any professional actors. They are more than capable of working at that level and keeping up with that. They offer such amazing things, they're so open.
I think it was one of the best experiences I've ever done, but yes, the most challenging and hard-working experience.
Everyone's here for the same reason, because they love working with these people who are really committed and determined to do that.
It's the kind of thing that I wish I'd known about when I was a teenager, because it's such an incredible learning experience. Like the people you're working with are working in the West End and elsewhere as professionals now, and the amount you can learn from them is huge, whether you're a child or not.
You just learn so much at a young age, and you're exposed to so much, and meeting all these incredible like creatives.
So originally I started playing the violin with NYMT, and I think that kind of sparked my interest in the production side of things, which is why when I moved to AMD, that was so fascinating for me. And I think that transition really helped me move into the career path that I eventually wanted to follow, which I chose to follow, which is conducting.
The Creative Mentorship Scheme is basically enables people to come and actually work with professional musical directors, professional choreographers or professional tech team, and be able to shadow them in a way that they can learn exactly the ways they work, speak to them about how maybe they can develop their own skills into something that they can use in the future, and also just gain contacts that you will have for the rest of your career. There are opportunities for DSMs to come in from college and learn how to call a show, which is obviously an absolutely massive job, and then ASMs who will help in the development and the creation of the show once we're in the theatre and in the rehearsal rooms. Me personally, I came in as a creative mentorship to Sarah Travis, who's quite an esteemed musical supervisor and orchestrator, and ever since then I've been in work.
I always loved working with the professional MDs because, especially on NYMT, they were so generous with their time and their knowledge, and I think that for everyone who's assisting, different various people on this production, it's always great to have this kind of mentor.
It's a beautiful thing to see. You remember that first voice memo on your phone where you were joking around a piano, and suddenly you've got a fully orchestrated piece in a large theatre being performed by a cast of 40 and an orchestra of 10.
My job as a director, whenever I get a company of actors, is to identify what each actor needs. And that's no different here. It's just a slightly different need sometimes. So some people might not know theatre jargon. They might not know stage left, stage right, up stage, down stage. But it doesn't mean they're not as good at telling a story. It just means that they haven't learnt those words yet.
The quality, for one thing, is always unbelievable. I come back and I watch shows even now, and it never dips. It never dips. They always seem to get the best kind of creative people in. They find the best venues. They're always trying new shows, different shows, new writing.
I was an actor as a musician for 12 years, and towards the end of that time, I started to write and do some MD work. And then I gradually realised that I preferred the writing side of things. So actually when I was looking for commissions for musical theatre, NYMT was sort of quite high on my list. I think the really exciting thing about an NYMT commission is the lead time that you have. You're in a really unique position to be able to start writing a show and write it more or less full time and then know that it's going to be put on. You get told, right, we want 28 characters, we want a band of 10, go. And you've got 8 months to do it. And that's a wonderful thing for a writer because it means you can focus, it means you can completely immerse yourself in the world that you're trying to create and then know that there's an end game.
If you work on a new musical as an actor in NYMT, the first time you are cast, those songs and those orchestrations and those lines will be written for you. It's a very special thing to know that you'll get to the end of a new musical of NYMT and you've originated a role that was written for you.
I think one of the great things about writing a show for NYMT as well is that you know who you're writing for because you're given your company quite early, I'd say midway through the process. So there was one character I remember in our show that we didn't really know what he was, and then this amazing Welsh actor came in. So we suddenly made everything he did was like funny because he just brought so much to that part. And that happened across the board with every character.
The workshop is indispensable. Like we can't say enough how getting a 2-week workshop with actors in the professional industry is very rare, it's very expensive, they don't happen often, and this was just gold dust.
I love working with writers and having real live writers in the room working with the young people is a really amazing thing for the company to experience.
Anytime I get the call, I will do whatever they want me to do to help the National Youth Music Theatre because it's been very important in my life and I can see how important it is in other people's lives. Joining the arts as a career is not easy if you come from a family, let's say, that is not particularly well off. And I think that the NYMT undercuts that and undermines it in a brilliant way.
I think the bursary fund that the NYMT has in place was so important. Without that bursary, I don't think I would be doing what I'm doing today.
The whole ethos of this place is just involving everyone and giving everyone a voice and a platform so they can be the best version of themselves and the best performer that they can be.
Everyone is so kind. No matter if you don't know anyone, if it's your first year, you will find people that you will love because it's just so good. It's so good.